You know, this summit, we've talked a lot about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Some risk-taking, patience, and a lot of hard work, especially when life gets in the way, and it tends to do that. And maybe some of you find yourself in that situation right now. Well, we've got this next coach story is a perfect example of what to do when that happens. Now, these coaches, parents of 2 wonderful children, all the way from Boise, Idaho, but they're also founding coaches for Team Beachbody with over 50,000 coaches in their organization. So please help me bring to the stage with a round of applause, Blake and Angie Warrington.
You gotta hold on to what you're feeling. That feeling is the best thing, alright. I'm gonna place my bet on.
All right, you guys, so let's get started. So tell everybody what date you guys signed up as coaches with Team Beachbody.
We got invited to a little meeting with about 80, 90 prospective people, coaches, back in December of 06.
December of 06. Think about where you guys were in 2006, what you were doing, right? So when you think about that meeting, and then you look out over here, kind of what this crowd now, what goes through your mind?
It's crazy because we were sitting in a small meeting room.
Oh, her mic's not on.
Oh, they did that on purpose. I talked too much.
Well, her mic's...
Can you hear me now?
Here, I'm gonna stand by you over here. All right, continue talking. They'll pick you up on this one right here.
Okay.
Oh, you got a handheld for us? There you go, Angie.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, we were sitting in a room with a bunch of people we didn't know, and we were all it was a small group of people, and it's phenomenal to see this many people here that believed in the dream that Carl painted for us back in 2006.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we launched with 43 of us, and we sat up here yesterday watching Gary and everybody, and it was just like, wow.
It's an amazing perspective that few people get, that you guys get to have.
Our first summit was 350 people.
Well, we've grown a little bit since
Just
then.
a smidge.
Just a little bit. So, I know sometimes, and you know, when we talk about these stories, one of the things that I got to appreciate when I talked to you guys was that just like so many people in this room, life always isn't easy. Sometimes life kind of comes at you, and you have to figure out how to navigate through that. And recently, I know you guys had some things that happened where life kind of got in the way and stuff that you haven't really talked about. So why don't you share that with everybody?
Yeah, I love what Becky and Christina said yesterday. Lean in. And I think I have a new girl crush on those two. They're amazing. Yeah, Blake and I kind of got a little blindsided with some stuff. At end of 2013, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 metastasized breast cancer, and because of Beachbody and this amazing community, I was able to fly back and forth from Boise to Ojai, California for her 6 treatments, and still be able to run our business. And then weird, in May of 2014, May 2nd exactly, I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer, and that kind of kicks you in the gut. And when I told Blake, he thought I was joking.
Well, so I was the one that discovered it.
Oh, Lord, I apologize.
Wasn't fun, but that was the start of it. And then she ended up going to the doctor, and she came back. I remember walking in the house, and she was sitting in the kitchen with my daughter, and I sat there, and she came back, and I was like, "How did it go?" And she goes, "It's cancer." And I sat there, and I was like, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I go, that doesn't happen to people like us. And what I mean by that, it was like, you know, we work out, we eat healthy, we take our supplements.
We drink Shakeology.
Yeah, and we're going like, and so that was the shift of our life, and you know, and then we still have this business to run and everything, but wait,
well,
it gets worse.
Yeah, well, I've got to do a shout out to Darren O'Lean, because I'm telling you that Ultimate Reset is the bomb. Yeah, I was going through the ultimate reset when I was diagnosed. I would think we were starting week 3. Carl and Isabel were running it, and I was part of that. And I was so grateful that I was doing the ultimate reset when I was diagnosed, because it immediately got my mind right. I was in motion. I was doing everything through the reset. And again, we're kind of getting off track here, but the reset is powerful, and it will change your life. And it helped me get on track with the journey. And then unfortunately, 2 weeks after I was diagnosed, my mom died. And she didn't die from breast cancer. She died from the complications of her chemotherapy treatment. And that was just another sucker punch. I wasn't ready for that. I was flying down the day that she died, I was flying down with my kids to spend the week with her because she was doing so much better. And the day I got down there, I had to take her off of life support. So that was just another sucker punch, that, it's those bullets that life kind of throws at you.
And they do that. So the interesting thing is, again, as we were talking, that was impressive to me is, so you watch your mom go through that, and all of a sudden now that lands in your lap, and then as you're starting to deal with that, then your mom passes away, and now you're still going through all of that, but then you still had this business that you were trying to run. So kind of tell us a little bit about what did you do during that time with your Beachbody business?
We just kept it going. I mean, what we did, we went on an exhaustion, just so you know, this is what I'm really happy and so proud of her. We went on, when she saw her mom go through that, she watched her fingernails fall out, her hair, horrible stuff. She actually decided, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the cancer thing. So we went on an exhaustive search while we're trying to still keep our business together. And we literally, it's a long story, and we'd share with anybody who wants to hear, but we found ways, an exhaustive search, and doing how she can beat breast cancer naturally. And she literally did not do chemo, radiation. They wanted to remove both breasts, full hysterectomy, and she's no cancer right now. She's cancer-free. But if you build the business and you really build it strong and you work with your team, you develop leaders, and we have some amazing leaders. And I wrote a Facebook post telling everybody, hey, we're gonna have to back down a little bit. We got some pretty life-changing event. And the outpouring from having built a team and working closely with people and everything, they stepped up. They helped take care of our trainings, our Go Emerald training that we have, and some other stuff that we do. And so our team came in there, and we still went in there on Facebook. We still went in there on, and kept active and stuff. So we didn't quit. We didn't go, we got to stop this. Because if you got a job and you get breast cancer, you get some kind of a life event that's thrown at you, you still got to go to your job. They're not going to let you stay off for a year, generally speaking. They're going to give you a little bit of time off to do some stuff. But at the end of the day, treat this almost like you would your job. And you got to be there for your team, because I don't care if you got 2 people or 3 people or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people or whatever you got in your team. You got to treat those people and work with them and stay with them. And maybe they'll step up and help out a little bit, but you can't just walk away. You can't quit.
Yeah, so we get to say thank you right now to our team that were behind us 150%, and that's when you have that, it's worth being here a year from now. It's worth being here 5 years from now. It's worth being here 10 years from now, because you're not going to get that in corporate America. And I know there's a lot of people that love their jobs and do Beachbody, and that's awesome. But to have this kind of support and community and love you can't put a price tag on it. It's priceless.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So one last quick question for you then. Now, I'm sure with your perspective, there's coaches out there right now who are facing some of life's headwinds. And they're wondering, how am I going to juggle all this? How am I going to make this happen? What would you say to them to kind of wrap up here?
Well, it's never the old never quit thing, right? But what I tell people when a new coach comes on, how many people have jobs, right? You guys have jobs and everything. And when you go to a job, you come in and you're going to put in your 34 hours a week, and when you get and come to that end of the week or your 2 weeks, you're going to get paid this amount of money and benefits and things like that. In network marketing, you're going to come in here and you're going to do some work. You might input in 10, 20, 30, 40 hours, and you might, at the end of that time, week or 2 weeks down the road, you might make $10. Who was it yesterday? was it
Christina.
Christina
O'Donnell?
said she lost
Her
money
first month, she had to pay money to the company. She lost money. So what happens is that people come in here and then they go, okay, wow, I only made 20 bucks. I made 50 bucks, and then you work again for the next month or something like that, and then it goes, wow, I'm just not making any money. I'm putting all this time in, but I'm not getting what I'm used to getting paid like I would if I put that time in for my job. And so we just want to tell everybody, treat this like you would a real business. I know you can come in here, and I always have another saying. I say, what's a good thing about a business like Team Beachbody is you can come in for $100, $150, $200. What's a bad thing about a Team Beachbody business, something like this, is you can come in for $100 or $200. And what that means is you come in here, and if you start working hard, you get that $20 check, or you have a life event happen, it's easy to walk away from a $100 investment, a $200 investment or something like that versus somebody who comes in here and has a traditional business, puts in $50,000. So that's what we want to tell you is you got to come in here and you got to work hard, stay hard, don't quit, and treat this like a real business because it'll pay you, as it has for a lot of people, your $500 a month, millions of dollars, as for a lot of coaches have.
Awesome. Blake and Angie, thank you guys so much. We're so glad to hear of your continued health and best success, you guys.
Thanks.
Blake
Thank
and
you,
Angie
everybody.
Warrington, everybody. And remember, don't quit.